Hello and welcome to this holiday edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro was awarded $11 million in state funding to conduct remediation at both Bingham Park and various downtown Greensboro sites. The 12-acre Bingham Park is adjacent to the East Side Park, Willow Oaks, and Cottage Grove communities. This residential area served as a disposal site for incinerated waste until 1956 before being converted to parkland. In the late 2000s, the city began planning efforts in conjunction with the community to redesign and improve the park. Among other things, a portion of this funding will support full waste removal and rebuilding stream banks. The site is categorized as a pre-regulatory landfill since it was in operation prior to 1983, when landfill standards were established to protect health and the environment. Pre-regulatory landfills accepted types of waste not allowed in modern landfills. This funding will also be used to address multiple downtown Greensboro sites in varying stages of environmental mediation. The city will continue its focus to decrease the number of vacant sites to improve economic vitality and opportunity for residents and visitors. This further elevates downtown Greensboro as a regional economic driver. These projects support City Council priorities, easiest place to do business, and hub of recreation and entertainment. The Housing and Neighborhood Development Department is participating in an interactive online map project. This is designed to pinpoint long-term challenges and opportunities in affordable home ownership, healthcare, and education. Addressing the maps will enable users to compare different metrics from broadband access and health outcomes to housing costs, drilling down to the level of a census tract, all tailored to Greensboro's specific needs. The city contracted with Winston-Salem State University's Center for the Study of Economic Mobility to produce the maps. City staff will schedule sessions for the community through Equitable Development Data Insight training in cooperation with the University of California at Berkeley and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. According to Craig Richardson, the center's director, these maps help assist with potential policy solutions for Greensboro and its communities that hone in on housing affordability. A key component to this project is an opportunity index that includes 4 components: prosperity, housing, education, and health indices for each neighborhood. Users can click on one of those topics, hover over a different area of the city to see specific stats, and then compare data with other areas of the city. To learn more and to read the center's report, visit the city's website. The northernmost trestle bridge on the Atlantic and Yadkin Greenway, located between Strawberry Road and Burr Mill Park, is closed to all traffic. It will not reopen until it can be replaced. Since there is no paved detour route, pedestrians and bicyclists will need to use an alternative trailhead south of the Trestle Bridge. This closure is necessary based on the recommendations of an engineering firm's structural assessment of the Greenway's 2 bridges spanning Lake Brant. The assessment was part of a larger project to bring the section of Greenway between Strawberry Road and Lake Brant Road up to design standards. The city is prioritizing this project and actively pursuing approximately $2.5 million for the planning, design, and construction. The Greensboro Urban Metropolitan Planning Organization is seeking $2 million in federal funds, which will be combined with a $500,000 local match. The design and permitting is anticipated to begin early next year, with construction in 2025 due to the sensitive watershed habitat surrounding the bridge, permitting requirements, and project complexity. The North Carolina Mountains to Sea Trail will be temporarily rerouted along the Piedmont Trail. The Weaver Bridge south of Burr Mill Park will remain open. For a complete list of trails and greenways to explore, download the free Piedmont Discovery app. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
About 75% of women sometime during menopause experience hot flashes. Are you feeling the heat? One of the first things that I hear is, well, what can I do about this? What can I do to minimize the chance that I'll have hot flashes? And I usually start at the beginning of the day. The first thing is that nice hot shower in the morning should probably be more tepid, because many women complain, I can't even get dressed in the morning before I'm breaking out in a sweat. I can't put my makeup on. So start with a much cooler shower. The other thing is, as you're choosing the things that you will wear during the day, choose to dress in layers that you can indeed peel off if you begin to have hot flashes, and then put your sweater back on when that passes and you're feeling more cool. Some of the things that we eat and drink can cause hot flashes, and so if you notice that every time you have a spicy meal, that's a miserable time that evening, then you want to avoid those kinds of foods. And alcohol is a well-known trigger of hot flashes, so you may need to moderate the amount of alcohol that you drink. People wonder about that morning cup of coffee sometimes and whether caffeine is a trigger. For some women, it can be. Exercise, which causes just about everybody to sweat if you are doing it right, can actually minimize hot flashes. Many women, when they're asked whether they're having hot flashes, will say, well, what's that? I try to describe it as a sensation of warmth that can be as little as something that will cause you to wipe your brow, but as significant as something that makes you want to take your sweater off, that can cause your hair to become wet, can cause your clothing to become wet, as if you've just run a mile and then all of a sudden it's gone. And you may actually experience a sense of chill after it's gone. The key is that it's repetitive. It goes away, it comes back. It can happen many times during the day and during the night. Or you may be one of the fortunate women who has only a couple during a day. Once a woman is having some difficulty with hot flashes, one of the main questions I get is, how long is this going to go on? Because if it's going to be a month, well, I can deal with that. But if it's going to be 10 years, maybe I need something to assist me. So usually we think in terms of 7 years as an average, but really women can begin to have hot flashes even before they have the diagnosis of menopause, and it can last as many as 10 or 15 years for some women. There is medication that is designed to address whatever residual symptoms there are. And those medications fall basically into two categories. One is hormones that are designed to give back some of the hormone that women are making too little of to control their symptoms. And one is non-hormonal. A woman should see their doctor at least once a year for a general discussion of their reproductive health. And that visit will include discussions about what is going on in terms of movement out of the reproductive age into menopause, that perimenopausal time frame that can be so disruptive, as well as whether there are any menopausal symptoms that need to be addressed. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this information has been helpful to you. For more information, visit conehealth.com/menopause. Thank you again. I'm Dr. Vanessa Haygood.
The second round of loose leaf collection is underway, and find out if Greensboro Police can continue its Railroad Safety Patrol program. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The second round of loose leaf collection is underway, allowing plenty of time to gather your leaves. Be sure to place all leaves near the curb by January 2nd in order for them to be collected by February 2nd. Residents should follow these guidelines to make the leaf collection process go more smoothly. Rake all leaves to the edge of your yard behind the curb, not in the street. Be sure to remove all sticks, rocks, and any other debris that may damage city equipment. Do not park vehicles on, in front of, or near the pile of leaves. It's easy to follow the collection trucks by checking the interactive map to determine when your neighborhood will be serviced. Leaves can also be disposed of year-round. Simply put them at the curb in a plastic or metal garbage can. Crews will collect the leaves on your regular trash collection day. The leaf collection schedule may change due to inclement weather. Please note the city does not collect leaves on private streets. This is the final season for loose leaf collection in Greensboro. Next year, residents will receive a collection container for leaves and other yard waste. For more information about the new changes, visit the city's website. The Greensboro Police Department was awarded a $96,000 grant by the U.S. Department of Transportation. This money will support GPD's Railroad Safety Patrol Program. Established in 2016, officers assigned to this program conduct directed patrols using all-terrain vehicles, or ATVs, at identified hotspots along railways throughout Greensboro. The goal is to reduce trespassing incidents and ultimately decrease the number of injuries and fatalities. The grant will be used to pay officers overtime, allowing the program to continue. ATVs allow officers to move through these difficult-to-reach hotspots quickly and efficiently, since many of the known trespass areas are not easily accessible by the standard police sedan or sports utility vehicles. The focus of these patrols is on educating the public on the dangers of rail crossings, collecting data on trespassers for research purposes, as well as enforcing trespass laws. This grant supports the City Council's Safest City priority. Once again, the City of Greensboro earned a perfect score in the 2023 Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index, or MEI. This marks the third consecutive year the city scored 100 points. The score ranks Greensboro first among all cities in North Carolina, tied with Chapel Hill. The MEI examines the laws, policies, and services of municipalities, rating them on the basis of their inclusivity of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, or LGBT, people who live and work in the city. Among the index categories where Greensboro scored the highest were in municipal services, law enforcement, and the city's relationship with the LGBT community. The annual MEI is produced by the Human Rights Campaign, which represents more than 1.5 million members and supporters of LGBT equality in the U.S. Other North Carolina cities listed in the MEI are as follows. Charlotte and Carrboro are tied at number 3 with 95 points. Durham comes in at number 5 with 91 points. Number 6 is Winston-Salem with 90 points. Raleigh is number 7, followed by Wilmington at number 8, leaving Cary and Fayetteville to round out the top 10. The full MEI listing is available for review on the Human Rights Campaign website. This is the first year the City of Greensboro is reaping the rewards of its new Intergovernmental Relations Office. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to the manager of this office and explain her role with the city. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro added the Office of Intergovernmental Relations in 2022. This is an opportunity to work with lobbyists on the state and federal levels to bring free money to the City of Greensboro. Joining me now to tell us about the work behind the scenes is Latoya Caesar Crawford. She is the city's Intergovernmental Relations Manager. Hello, Latoya. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Carla. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so glad that you could join me. So let's start by explaining the significance of establishing an Office of Intergovernmental Relations.
Sure. So the goal is to create a central place within the city where there is strategic advocacy that happens at the federal, state, and local level. And also, it's a place where you evaluate whether there's effectiveness in a very central and data-driven way. So having the office gives our city an opportunity to really focus and to have a legislative agenda process that is aligned to our city's priorities, and have one person that really does take the responsibility for implementing and executing that on a yearly basis.
Okay, and that person is you.
That person is me.
So with that, you're juggling all of these different agendas, because you have your state, your local, your federal, as you lined out, but as overall, there's a vision. So what would you say is the vision for your office?
Absolutely. The vision for the office is to 100% at the federal, state, and local level achieve all of our legislative asks that are aligned with our city's priorities. That's a lofty goal. But that's how we start every legislative session. Our city has a myriad of different priorities: transportation, aging infrastructure, transit, public safety, economic development. So the vision is for us to be able to go before our federal legislators and our state legislators and ask for things that are aligned to those priorities, and then achieve that. So I oversee our lobbying teams, and I make sure that we are consistently asking for things that we believe are going to help our city achieve what we set out to do.
Okay, and along those lines, you're looking for the wins. So you have had your first year in and you've come back with some wins on the federal level. Give us a recap.
Sure. So this year, during our federal budget process, which of course, it's been a very interesting time at the federal government level right now, we are very excited to state that the earmark process for us has been very successful this year. Typically, we'll ask for community-funded projects that are a part of the earmark process as the federal government negotiates their budget, and we will get 1 or 2 projects. This year, we've actually accomplished history. And in doing that, we've been able to have all of our community-funded projects recommended in the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Appropriations Bill for this budget cycle, which is historic for our city. And if we are able to pass a successful budget, we will have been awarded over $6 million as a result of that at the federal level.
Wow,
so,
very
super
impressive.
excited.
Yes. So let's talk about the equivalent on the state level. What kind of funding or what kind of wins did you walk away with there?
So our first win this legislative session was actually passing statewide legislation for a civilian traffic investigators program. It started off as a local bill with the city of Greensboro and another municipality, and we were actually able to see it become a statewide bill. It allows for civilians to investigate traffic incidents, and it will eventually save our police force thousands of man-hours every year. So that's one of our wins. This year we went before the state and we asked for a significant amount of money to do 2 things. Number 1, to remediate some vacant sites in our downtown area, and also to pay very specific attention to Bingham Park in East Greensboro. The community has wanted to implement a remediation plan for a very long time. We are happy to report that the state has awarded us $11 million to do both things this legislative session. So we're very excited for what we've accomplished so far.
Well, congratulations on all of the wins, both state and federal. So moving forward, you've got much more work to do. I'm sure there's more money on the table somewhere. How do you plan to keep the momentum going?
So I think it's for us going to be continuing to ensure that our relationships remain strong with our delegations at the federal and the state level, keeping communication open and clear, being very strategic about our agenda and our goals, and ensuring that we're always where we need to be, right? Lobbying is a very fluid process.
Yes.
And so our lobbyists need to remain informed, they need to keep us informed, and we need to be constantly asking for those things that we know our city needs and measuring our own success effectively.
Perfect. Well, this certainly puts Greensboro on the map, so we want to congratulate you for a successful first year out of the gate, and we're looking forward to seeing the dollars put to good use. Do come back and give us updates as you're doing more of the legislative agenda maneuvering and see what more wins you can bring to the table.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Creative Greensboro is accepting applications for the 2024 Downtown Arts Program, which showcases local visual artists at locations around downtown Greensboro. Selected artists will be paid, and one will be chosen to create an original work. The deadline to apply is on Tuesday, December 5th. 10 artists will be chosen for the Art on Downtown Kiosk program, each receiving a $500 honorarium and up to 10 weeks of display time on the 11 digital kiosks located throughout downtown. The artists are also featured on Creative Greensboro's website and social media channels. One artist will be selected to create an original work for the Art in City Hall Special Commission. This artist will receive $3,000 to create an original piece that will become part of the city's permanent collection. The commissioned work will also be reproduced into vinyl, framed, and installed in a prominent location at Greensboro City Hall. A selection committee will review all eligible submissions to choose the 10 artists. Selected works and the commissioned piece will be displayed early next year. To apply for Downtown Arts, visit the city's website or contact Karen Archia at 336-433-7362. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight. But first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some of the special places you can visit around the town. The swampy beauty of the Bog Garden at Benjamin Park has been developed into a striking outdoor exhibit. It features a half-mile elevated wooden walkway that provides easy access through the garden. Visitors can see more than 8,000 trees, shrubs, flowers, and the beautiful Joe Christian Serenity Falls. Find out more about this free facility and other city parks online at greensboronc.gov. The Green Hill Center for North Carolina Art is the only non-collecting organization dedicated to promoting the state's visual art and artists. Green Hill engages a statewide community of artists, adults, and children through dynamic exhibitions and studio-based education. Learn more about this free attraction at greenhillnc.org. The Greensboro History Museum shares the city's history through diverse collections, engaging exhibits, educational programs, and community dialogue. The free museum highlights stories from pre-colonial cultures to today's Gate City, including Greensboro's role in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. Visit the museum's website and plan your trip at greensborohistory.org. Your next adventure awaits at the Greensboro Science Center. The center is North Carolina's only facility with a duly credited aquarium, museum, and zoo all in one destination. Bring the whole family for a day of hands-on educational and entertaining experiences. Learn more and buy tickets online at greensboroscience.org. Journey into the Greensboro sit-in protests and American civil rights history with a visit to the International Civil Rights Center and Museum. One of the top sites on the U.S. Civil Rights Trail, the museum offers both self-guided and staff-guided tours. Learn more and purchase tickets online at sitinmovement.org. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. In response to the demand for truck parking, the city is seeking interested parties to manage safe and accessible parking for oversized commercial vehicles. 2 city-controlled parcels are available for full or partial lease for interested parties willing to offer this service. Leaseholders are responsible for improving and maintaining the land. Aspects of the program overview are as follows. A 5-year lease term is available with 2 one-year extensions. The lease rate is $100 per acre per year. The site must be operational within 12 months and the leaseholder must maintain continuous operations through the lease term. The application review process takes an estimated 90 days for internal review and City Council approval. To review more details about available parcels and more program guidelines, visit the city's website. To ask questions, contact Stephen Carter, Parking and Business Manager at the Greensboro Department of Transportation at 336-333-6879. Coming up after the break is our Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Youth Council. The volunteer group is accepting new and gently used toys or cash donations for its Santa's Workshop Toy Drive until Friday, December 8th. Toys can be delivered to one of a dozen community sites during regular operating hours. Monetary donations can be made online. If you can't decide what to donate, choose a gift from the GYC Amazon wish list. Drop-off locations include the Glenwood, Smith, Trotter, and Lindley Recreation Centers. The following library branches are accepting toy donations: Central Library, Kathleen Clay Edwards, McGirt Horton, and Benjamin Library. Other drop-off sites include the Greensboro Cultural Center on North Davie Street and the State Employees Credit Union at 6501 Interstate Drive. Greensboro Youth Council works with local agencies to identify families for this opportunity. Santa's Workshop has been providing holiday gifts for more than 40 years. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM, 100.7 FM, and 90.5 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.